Hello, and welcome to Lunar Magic Tea Time, where we discuss all things magical, mystical, metaphysical, and sometimes even a little mundane. I'm Kristen. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2020, and that means this is an extra video. It's a video where I want to discuss something that happened to me this morning. It happened to me as a way to connect me to my universe, to my world. Every morning I get up and I pull a card, or three, depending on the mood I'm in. I pull from a variety of different decks. I have approaching 100 different decks, split about 50-50 between Oracle and tarot decks. So the deck I grab in the morning sometimes is just random. It's completely random. I've spent the last couple of days rearranging my workspace, and that meant that some decks were shuffled and some decks were moved. And I came across a deck that previously had been put away. It had been, I don't want to say hidden, but it had been tucked away behind some other stuff, and I hadn't thought about it in probably 6 months or so. And when I was shuffling decks the other day, I thought, oh, I should pull that out and I should start letting it work with me, and we should start really getting back to that work. It's important to what I'm doing right now. And that deck is the Celtic Shamans deck by John Matthews, illustrated by Cheska Potter. It's an interesting deck. It's a very deep deck. It has a lot of fantastic Celtic mythology in this book's pages. Really great deck to work with. Really great deck to embrace shadow work with. Especially great to embrace ancestor work with, especially if you're of a Celtic background. I used it a lot back in the days when my mother was with us and was in the process of passing. It was one of the decks I turned to quite frequently to help do that psychopomp work for her. But like I said, I haven't touched this box. It comes in a beautiful box. I haven't touched this in months. And so I thought, okay, well, this morning I got it out and I moved it to my workspace, and I drew my 3 cards, and I wrote my journal entry for it, and I tucked everything away, and then I put it where it goes. And then I turned to my other, I have 2 workspaces in my room, in my office. And I turned to my other deck to pick up, or my other desk to pick up an embroidery project that I worked on yesterday and set on my desk. And I picked up the embroidery project, and underneath that embroidery project was the journal I had been taking notes in for something else that I'd put on that desk yesterday. So it's the journal. This is how I remember putting things down. It was the journal and then the embroidery project. Sandwiched between the journal and the embroidery project was this card, the Wild Man, from this deck, the Celtic Shamans deck, which I had not touched until this very morning in 6 months. This card has no reason to be there. Has no reason to be amongst the things that I was literally working with yesterday. And I know I didn't touch this deck yesterday. I know I haven't touched this deck in I went back through my journal. I haven't touched this deck in like I said, 6 months. So what does the Wild Man have to say to me today? The Wild Man seeks a kind of vision that is inspired to the point of seeming madness. He represents a singular shamanic ability, that of walking the narrow border between the worlds and returning with knowledge of that place. The wild man came to me today to remind me of my purpose, a purpose that other people do not understand, that other people don't see necessarily, that other people don't necessarily respect as valid. This purpose, this work that I do, this work that we're doing together as a journey is confusing for some people. But the wild man came to me today. He literally materialized, okay, out of a box to remind me that this moment, this purpose, this drive, and these challenges are mine to embrace and mine to grow from, even if the rest of the world sees it as madness. So today, I am embracing that uniqueness in me. I embrace that uniqueness in you. What projects do you have that other people don't understand? What gifts do you have that other people don't understand? Let's work together and bring these things into the world as a vision of change and of power and of growth. With that, I want you guys to have a magical day, and you know where to find us. Have a fantastic Wednesday.